Hey everyone, welcome to another Mind Power Monday. I'm Melanie Robinson and I'm a real estate investor just like the rest of you. I hope you had a really wonderful weekend and that you're having a great summer so far. As you can see, I'm still at my cabin. I'm here for another couple of weeks and then I'm going to be heading back down to the Lower Mainland. So fortunate to be able to work from anywhere. And so I've been enjoying my time in the sun. Had 5 teenage girls here for the last week, plus Jason. So it's been a busy week, but still getting work done, still getting everything done, and enjoying family time. So that is me this summer. I hope you're having a great summer as well. As you guys know, I've done several different strategies over the years. The last couple of years, I've really been focusing on joint venture partnerships and raising capital. I love the making a difference side of real estate investing. So I've been focusing really heavily in New Brunswick over the last year and a half, loving that market and what it's doing. So I'm in the trenches with you guys. I have this fourplex build that I'm doing in Nanaimo. Of course, it's coming to completion now and just getting on the market right as the market is shifting. And so those of you who have followed that journey with me know that I'm in the trenches with you guys. Not everything goes rosy peachy for me, and it can be super stressful and it can be super amazing. So I'm in this with you. You have the same sort of struggles and challenges. I have the same wins and excitement, and I want to support you guys in achieving your goals, in really accomplishing what it is that you set out to accomplish, and doing it in a way where you feel good, where you can enjoy the experience, where you can recognize when you have the ability to shift things, when you might be limiting yourself, and just being able to go after your goals and achieve everything. We only have this life. We want to do it. We want to achieve all the things we want to achieve and be able to do and experience all of those things with the people that we love. So that's why I want to support you. My background is in NLP, the brain, how it works, the strategies that we run. This isn't the real estate investing side of things. This is the you part of the equation. And it is just as important, in my opinion, if not more important, because if you don't build that inner strength, that inner resilience, those tools to get you through the challenging times, it doesn't matter how much you know about real estate investing, you're not going to take action, or you're not going to stay at it for the long haul if things happen, that you didn't expect. If it's not going well, oh yay, Cheryl, we have to connect. Getting closer and closer. Subject removal is on Friday for our for that property we have under contract in Lake Country. So yes, I really want to connect with you. Anyhow. Okay, so as you guys who tune in every week know, I'm terrible at reading the comments and being able to share with you from my heart, because I do really take the time to figure out how can I support you this week. And you guys know that that this summer we've been doing what we called in the corporate world, in our corporate training, from vision to form. So you have this dream, this vision for your future, and how do you bring that into reality? How do you make that happen in your real life? And so the first week we talked about your vision. So the important thing is to dream, to really think, what do I want my life to look like? If I could have anything that I wanted, what is it that I'm working towards in the future? This is not about how many doors. This isn't about, what you've acquired financially. This is about an experience, your experience of life. What do you want that to look like? How do you want to make a difference in the world? How do you want your success to ripple out to the people around you? What do you want ultimately for your life to look like out there in the future? It's why we're doing all of this in the first place. It's, why we're going to work to do the real estate investing, to achieve things that the average person doesn't achieve, because we have this vision out there in the future for ourselves that we really want to achieve. So week number 1, we talked about your vision. And again, if you haven't been watching week after week, that's totally fine. Each week is good in and of itself. And if you want to follow the format, there is kind of a pathway. We also called it a pathway to a purposeful life. So your vision, that was the first thing we did. What do you want your life to look like? If you could have anything that you wanted, if there was nothing stopping you, what would your life look like in the future? How would you be rippling out and impacting those around you because of achieving that? Then the next week we talked about your identity and all of it, building upon the next. So your identity, when you think of that vision, who do you need to be, or who do you want to be when you're fulfilling that vision? So how do you want people to describe you? Who do you need to be that person that's living that life that you want to live, and getting really clear on that so that you can work towards being that person. Then last week we talked about values, and this is the what's important to you. I mentioned that when you with your values, when you elicit your values, what's important to you about this? When you think about your vision, what's important to you about living that life? What's important to you about achieving that vision that you have out there for you in the future? And again, we haven't gotten down to how many doors and, that kind of thing. We're really big picture in that. But what's important to you about achieving that? And you go through and you ask yourself that question over and over and just kind of, purge every answer that you have. What's important to you? What else is important to you? What else is important to you? And you get a list. Then you can put that list in order, and basically your top 3 values, that gives you your top 3 values, or it gives you, if you have 10 of them, you get them in order from 1 to 10. And your top 3 values are things that you're not going to be able to comfortably compromise. So maybe you can, but you'll feel huge conflict with yourself. You won't be able to achieve things in as fast or as easily or as joyfully as you would like to if you're compromising your top 3 values. So that's really important to know. Now, today, we're talking about beliefs. So it was vision, then identity, then values, and now we're at beliefs. And I'm sure we've all heard, because we're all successful business people, people talk about limiting beliefs. So here's the deal. We've all heard the quote, that Henry Ford quote, whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. There's so much truth in that. I can't even articulate how important our beliefs are in supporting us and moving towards our goals, or limiting us, stopping us, hot in our tracks, and we don't even recognize it. Whatever you believe to be possible is as far as you'll go in trying to accomplish your goals. If you don't believe it's possible to achieve these goals, if you don't believe it's possible for you to live that vision, if you don't believe it, there is no way for you to achieve it, because how are you going to work towards that when you don't even believe it's possible in the first place? And unconsciously, you'll be sabotaging yourself. You will not be taking action in the same way. So beliefs are a really critical piece. And you guys come on and say hi when you pop on. I know that it's summer and people are busy. Oh, a big truck's driving by us. A big noisy truck in our quiet resort. Okay, so now that I'm distracted by the truck, as we know, if Todd was on here, he'd be saying squirrel. Your beliefs are so incredibly important. You recognizing whether you have beliefs that are supporting you or whether you have beliefs that are limiting you. And that's really the question that you want to ask yourself. So you have this vision, you have this life that you want, you have these goals that you want to achieve. You have that in your mind's eye. I know you do. You wouldn't be here if you didn't. And so, do you believe that that's possible for you? Do you believe that it's possible for you? And don't ignore the truths that come up, because you may have, your answer may be, yes, I totally do. I know it's possible. I see other people doing it. I'm surrounded by, the right people. I have a supportive network. I have the education and my mentors. I know how to research and work properties. Yes, I absolutely believe I can have that. Good morning, Myrna. I absolutely believe I can have that. Then great. I believe that I'm smart enough. I believe that I have all of the resources that I need. I believe that I have the community around me. I believe that I, either live in the right market or have access to the right market. I believe that real estate is the best place to put your money. I believe that things are going to recover. I believe. That's great. If you have that sort of belief system, perfect. Then you are going to continue working towards it no matter what comes your way, no matter what obstacles, no matter what challenges come your way. You believe it's possible. You believe that there is a solution for each problem. You believe that everything is figure outable. If those are the types of beliefs you have, then you will keep moving forward and nothing is going to stop you. If, however, there's anything, and it's not going to be that you have all beliefs that support you or only beliefs that limit you. You're going to have supporting beliefs or supportive beliefs, and you're going to have limiting beliefs. And so it's just important to recognize this, to take the time. You can't keep going on a hamster wheel, spinning your wheels, working numbers and not paying attention, in my opinion. And maybe some people wouldn't agree. But you need to pay attention to this aspect, because no matter how hard you work, if you don't believe this is possible, you are not going to achieve things with ease. And for me, well, let's face it, it's not always easy. but with as much ease as possible. And when you get yourself into a state where you're not thriving, where you have the ability, you have the tools, you have the understanding and the self-awareness to figure out what it is that is stopping you and how can you shift that in order to continue moving forward. It's very solution focused. It's like we want to be solution focused in our real estate investing. We want to be solution focused with ourselves and our mindset as well. So, maybe your beliefs, maybe you're saying things like I just mentioned to yourself, but maybe you find yourself saying, when I say, do you believe that you can achieve that vision that you want so deeply? When you think of that vision out there in the future, do you believe that that is possible for you? Do you believe that that is out there for you and that you can achieve that? If your answers are, well, if the market doesn't crash, or, I don't know enough yet to achieve that, or I'm not smart enough. It's funny, I'm having a hard time thinking about the limiting beliefs, but I'm not smart enough. I don't know enough. I don't live in the right market. I'm not good with numbers. I'm not good with people. Interest rates are going up. The market is crashing. We're about to go into a recession. If you're thinking things like that, now I'm not saying you don't be realistic and analytical and all of that. I'm not saying that. I'm talking about your ability to accomplish this. And do you believe this is possible for you? And so if you're thinking you're not smart enough, you're not good enough, you're not worthy, you don't know enough yet, you don't have the right people around you, you don't live in a good market, it's not a good time to invest, if you're living with those thoughts going through your mind, and I'm sure a whole, gazillion set of other ones, I just can't think of them all right now. Those are what are called limiting beliefs. And that's exactly what they are. They will limit you from accomplishing, from achieving what it is that you want to achieve. Because if you believe those things to be true, what's going to happen the moment you face an obstacle? What's going to happen the minute interest rates jump? What's going to happen the minute, somebody's not happy with you, or something doesn't go the way you had anticipated, or what is going to happen if you believe that you're not able to do this for some reason? If you believe that it's not possible for you, the minute something happens that doesn't go as planned, and I can assure you it will, the minute that happens, you're going to give up. It's going to be like, see, I knew it. I knew this wasn't possible for me. I knew I wasn't good with numbers, or I knew I wasn't smart enough, or whatever that might be. So really the things that I want you to do over this next week is I want you to think of that vision. And if you haven't already done so, go back and watch a few weeks ago, or just answer this to yourself right now. What do you want your life to look like? When you've achieved everything that you want to achieve, and when life is exactly as it was meant to be for you, what does it look like? Where are you? Who's around you? What are you doing? What is this all about in the first place? If I could have anything that I wanted in this world, in my life, the experience of my life, not buildings and stuff, what do I want my life to look like? What kind of difference do I want to make in my family's lives and the people that I love? And beyond that, how does my success and my accomplishments ripple out into the world? When you think about that, and then you ask yourself, do I believe that this is possible for me? Do I believe that I can do that? Whatever your answers are, allow them to be. Don't, try to think just positive ones for the purpose of this. Really be honest with yourself, because they're there anyways, whether you admit it or not, whether you acknowledge it to yourself or not. Those beliefs are dictating your action or your inaction. Think back to Henry Ford. Whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. So when you find out your supporting beliefs, then you can really grab onto those. You can, use those as affirmations. You can be making sure that that dialogue is what's going through your mind on a regular basis. And those beliefs that are limiting you, those beliefs that are, stopping you, then you've got to figure out, how do you let go of those? How do you reframe them? How do you word them a different way? How do you talk to people who have done what it is that you want to do, so that you can start to change your belief system to the fact that it is possible? What are the things that you've done in the past, where you were successful? There's a lot of different ways that you can change your beliefs. I think in one Mind Power Monday, I talked about submodalities, the way we code things in our brains and how we store it. That's another way to shift your beliefs. There's lots of different ways, but the first thing you need to do is recognize whether your beliefs are supporting you or limiting you, and acknowledging that that has a huge, huge impact on whether or not you're able to achieve the success that you want to achieve. Because you can read every book, you can take every course, you can have every conversation that you want, and you can be as smart about real estate investing as is possible. But if you're limiting yourself in here, if you don't truly believe that you are capable of doing this, that you have the resources, that is out there for you, you're going to be fighting an uphill battle, and it's going to be very challenging for you. So there you have it. There's your Mind Power Monday. So again, it was vision, then it was identity, then it was values, and today we're talking about beliefs. And do your beliefs support you, or do they limit you? You will achieve what you believe is possible. And so you have to take a look and be honest with yourself about your beliefs. And you want to start to have beliefs that support you, get rid of the ones that don't support you, replace them with beliefs that will, so that you can achieve that beautiful vision that you so deserve. You're here for a reason. The average person isn't doing this. It's not always going to be easy. So we want to clean out the clutter in here that could possibly be stopping us or making it more difficult for us. We've got enough stuff going on outside of us that make things difficult. We can't control what the government does, what the market does, what our partners do, what our tenants do, what the lenders do. We can't control any of that. The only thing we can control is ourselves. And that's the mind power piece. We want to be able to utilize this and to be able to shift and move and change and be resourceful regardless of what comes our way. So there you have it. Focus this week on beliefs, pay attention, be honest with yourself, and make sure that you are getting rid of those beliefs that are limiting you, and that you are running the dialogue of beliefs that are going to support you, or consciously choosing to adopt beliefs that support you in achieving that incredible, beautiful vision that you so, so deserve to have out there in the future. It's out there for you. I know it. It's out there for me too. I know it in every cell of my body. I believe that that there's no way I could have that vision in my mind if it wasn't out there for me. I just have to keep working on myself and working on my business until I arrive. And I want to enjoy today, because today is all I have, which means I got to play with my mind when things, like my fourplex happen. I've really got to play with my mind in order to stay positive, in order to be able to come on here and do Mind Power Mondays, in order to be able to Zoom with amazing different investors, in order to be able to continue creating success in New Brunswick. I can't stay in a pity party about something that isn't going well. I have to take control of my mind so that I can continue moving forward towards my goals. So I will stop babbling now. Have an amazing week, everyone. And we'll see you next week. Next week's a holiday. I'm not 100% sure whether I'm going to come on live or take it off and put a pre-recorded. But regardless, maybe next week you might see a recording. You might see me live. The next week I will be back live. And I'm not 100% sure whether I'll be on this deck or whether I'll be in my office in Pitt Meadows. But one way or another, I will see you all soon. Have a great week. Bye for now.